Somerville family and friends, welcome back to another exciting year. If you remember, we have several new staff members join the team last year. Then we said goodbye to our long-lasting principal and superintendent, Mr. Brooks. He is currently enjoying the retirement life. Now we have a new leader to the helm, Mr. Lund. 8th grade reporter Jordan Carter is here to introduce us to our new administrator.
Thanks, Hannah, and welcome back to school. Today I am joined with our new Somerville principal and superintendent, Mr. David Lund. Welcome to Somerville, Mr. Lund.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I know our audience would like to know a little more about you. Let's start with your background.
Sure.
Where were you and what was your role before coming to Somerville?
Well, I've had many different roles as an educator. I've been an educator for over 20 years now. I've been a paraprofessional. I've been a teacher, mostly in high school. So I taught and coached at the high school level. Then I was an assistant principal. And then I was a principal in Rockford. I was in Rockford for about 15 years as a principal and a director of programs. And then I moved to Champaign, where I was in Champaign for the last year, and I held another director level position as well as a principal of a migrant program. So that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I understand that you moved your family to the Salem area, and in fact your children are now Rockets.
You got
Could
it.
you tell us how old they are and what grades they're in?
Sure, we have Ava, who is a pre-K student. So she's our pre-K. She's three years old. Kai is in 3rd grade. He is 8 years old. And then Zane is in 4th grade. and yes, they were very excited to be here, and we're excited to be ingratiated as a family here. So thank you for that question.
Yeah. So our small town and rural school can be a culture shock for some people moving from larger areas. What do you find interesting about Salem and Somerville?
Well, I'd say from Salem and Somerville, everybody's been very gracious, from staff, parents, community members, business owners. Everybody is welcomed us to the community. And I will say, from perspective-wise, that's not everywhere you go. You know, that's not anywhere you go. You're going to have your challenges, but here specifically, everybody's been like, hey, welcome to the community. What can we do for you? How can we help your family? And are you settling in? So from that standpoint, it's been amazing that and including students, I should say too. The students have been like, hey, Mr. Lund, how can we help you? It's been an amazing experience with staff and students and our community.
Yeah, it's definitely a very welcoming community. So, do you have any goals for the school year that you would like to share?
Absolutely. So from a goal standpoint, I always looked at how are we going to win at what we're doing. Being an old football coach and track and softball coach, I always want to know how we're winning, and then the other side is how are we going to get there as a team. Because there's a lot of amazing things that are happening at the school. Every single day we have kids hitting proficiency. Every single day we have staff hitting proficiency. But what does that look like? What does it sound like to hit goals? And then the other side is we have to celebrate our goals. We have to celebrate what we do. Our attendance is at 100%. Our staff attendance is 100%. Our students are hitting their goals within the classroom. So I'll say this from this standpoint. Our goals are always going to be mutual. You're going to know what your goals are. I would hope as students you're going to know what that is. And staff the same way. Because at the end of the day, you want to feel like you're winning, right?
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to know they're feeling like they're winning. And if we're not winning, how do we fix it? And that's where we have to work together. Like, hey, Mr. Lund, I didn't like the lunchroom today. I didn't like how we went in the lunchroom and came out the lunchroom. Hey, I didn't like how we, we're at recess today and we did a couple of these things. Let's fix it together. So at the end, we can do that together as a team versus it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
That's not how I am. I want to win as a team versus all Mr. Lund said. And everywhere I go, everywhere I've been, I've always been like that. How do we win at what we're doing? Because we take our great things that we're doing, we build on those. We work on our weaknesses, we look at our opportunities, and then of course we deal with our threats if they come. So from that standpoint, it's just, what do we do good? What are we really good at? And let's build on that.
Yeah, that's great. So what are you most excited about as you look at this year ahead?
I think, as a principal and superintendent, you wear lots of different hats. I think the biggest thing is getting to know you as students, getting to know the staff, and where can I help? I want to help where I'm needed, and then let you do what you do best. Like, softball team, I don't mess with the softball team. Let you guys play, do your thing. Baseball team, same thing. We'll let you guys do what you do. How can I help you? Is it equipment that you need? Is it, more resources that you need? We'll look to see how we can do those things so we can, at the end of the day, you're feeling good about what you're experiencing as an athlete. Staff is feeling good about how they're coaching and helping their students. And then I can stand back and say, wow, look at all the amazing stuff that's happening here. So, yeah, when you're talking about overall, what we do best or what have you, it's just, how do I help? How do I help this process? And again, with the legacy that Mr. Brooks is brought to us, keep that going. There's no reason why the things that he did, we have to get rid of. Let's do the things that he's done and keep building on that. So at the end of the day, when you graduate and you're on to high school, you're looking back like, wow, that was really cool. We did a lot of great stuff when my time at Somerville, and the cool things that just kept going when Mr. Lund was here. So.
Yeah. So coming out of the dreaded COVID years, what do you find most challenging about the education right now?
Well, from a standpoint of how do we best service our students and where they're at, I think our biggest challenge is we have to recognize COVID is an impact on our student learning. It was. For you, for any other students that come through here, it did affect us. So recognizing that and then understanding how do we best help students at that time. Because how we did education before is not how we do it now. I mean, technology is a big piece in what we do. In the classroom, every one of you have seen already, we're using Chromebooks every day. Well, before COVID, we didn't use Chromebooks. Or we kind of use Chromebooks. So how do we make sure that we're still using those things, make sure that we know that there was an issue and there is an issue, and then how do we address it? How do we overcome it? Because at the end of the day, what are we going to do? We're going to win at what we do. Exactly. So we see those things, and then we coach those deficiency areas, and then help the teachers and students get better where they're at, and as well as bring in the parents. We need their help. We got to have the parents help us, because without the parents, we can't do it. So that's, again, making sure everybody knows where we are and where we're going.
Yeah. So is there anything else you would like to share with our Somerville families?
I would say from this standpoint, I'm happy and glad that I'm here. I'm here to help students. I'm here to help our community get better at what we do. From that standpoint, I'm part of this community. You'll see me at the grocery store. You'll see me at the restaurants. You'll see me at the ball games. And please don't ever hesitate to stand up or stop by and say, hey, Mr. Lund, I'm glad you're here. And how can what can I do to help your child get better at what they do? So with that said, thank you for the interview. This is really neat. I'm glad you're here doing this, because at the end of the day, this is what it's about. Learning from each other and getting better at with what we're doing as a community as well. So thank you.
So again, I just want to thank you for joining us today, and I would personally like to welcome you to our little school.
Thank you.
For the Rocket Review, I'm Jordan. So now let's head back to the studio.
Thanks, Jordan. In other news, we have a new weekly award for our student athletes this year, appropriately called the Athlete of the Week. Each week, we will recognize athletes who have excelled not only in competition but also behind the scenes for their respective teams. This week's Athlete of the Week is Kira Meredith. Kira is new to the Rocket softball team, but boy has she made her appearance known. At the plate this week, she has batted 556 with 7 RBIs, 4 hits, 2 doubles, and 1 triple. Kira really shows her might when she is on the mound. Last week, she earned 3 wins with 42 strikeouts and 11 hits allowed. Congratulations, Kira. Somerville is glad to have you on board. Keep an eye out for our future episodes of the Rocket Review. Very soon, we will be back to our weekly schedule. Make sure you like our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single thing. For the Rocket Review, I'm Hannah reminding you it's a great day to be a Rocket.